Lesson 5, Timeline Basics. The key thing to remember about this module is whichever object is closest to the top of your timeline will be in the front of the camera shot. This means that your puppet would typically be on the top of the section with the background underneath of the puppet. You can click on individual items in the timeline once you drag them here from the project section in the upper left corner of the record screen. Only characters appear in the timeline automatically when creating a new scene. So you'd have to manually drag in your background or select one other than the default if you wanted to change it. So now you're dragging whatever image you want to use as your background right and left in order to determine how long they are in the shot, when they come into the shot, and when they exit the shot. As an example, it would be easy to have a character speak in front of many different backgrounds as long as those individual backgrounds are beneath the puppet in the timeline in the lower left of the screen, and the puppet is stretched right to left in the timeline wide enough to cover multiple backgrounds that are not stretched as wide as that puppet. A good mnemonic device to remember how this concept works is to have your puppet be taller in the timeline, ergo closer to the top, than the backgrounds, and the puppet be wider in the timeline than the background your puppet will be speaking in front of for that particular scene. You can also hit the red button in the Scenes section in the middle of your screen to record. This will record actions such as dragging an arm to make your puppet point at something at a particular time in the scene. Additionally, you can click on your camera and microphone in the upper right-hand section of the record screen to capture your own voice and movements while recording. You may also generate puppet-specific controls from the section on the left above the timeline. An example of this is pre-selecting pre-planned arm positions, which can be selected here. If these are selected after pressing record, they will be added to your scene accordingly. Thanks for watching this learning module on Timeline Basics. In the next section, we'll be looking at some slightly more advanced features in our module entitled Combining Audio and Visual in the Timeline.